We've got a fantastic find here, and I'm ready for lunch. This is limestone bitter cress or purple cress, and this is a little known, magnificent wild edible, and right here with it is some wild garlic. And so this is going to go great with my Asian planned lunch today. I want to get in here a little close. This goes by a number of names, including hairy cress and the purple cress. It's a dainty, beautiful spring flowering herb. And I want to get in there so you can see those leaves and the shapes of the leaves. You've probably walked all around this plant and because of its name ignored it. It's unfortunate that it's called bitter cress. It's really more of a spicy, peppery flavor, but it is wonderful in any dish. It's a great way to liven up your wild foraging dishes because it's not at all bitter. And typically once you find bitter cress and you've identified it, you look around, there's quite a bit of it growing, and so it's a fantastic herb to add to your foraged salads. So there's a rock right here close to the bitter cress. This is a fantastic place for me to set up my day camp and unpack all my cooking gear and prepare lunch. All right, so I've got everything underway. I'm going to start boiling some water because what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a little bit of ramen noodles, some Asian style noodles, and then I'm going to include some wild garlic as well as the bitter cress that we've already shown you. And this is a great time to introduce this little item. I keep this in my cook kit, and it's just a silicone mat. Now these are intended for use in dehydrators, but they're great high temp mats. It is a silicone mat. I use these for so many different things. In this instance, it's going to serve as my surface or my prep area so I can cut my herbs and prepare those for cooking. And as I'm preparing my meal today, I'm also going to be, I have thawing some Asian dumplings that we're going to boil and then saute with these fantastic herbs that we've selected. So I'm just going to break my wild garlic into some small bits. And we're actually going to add this both to the ramen as well as my oil when I reheat my dumplings. And this is going to impart a tremendous amount of flavor and just make a very convenient packed lunch just that much more interesting. And again, this mat is just fantastic. It is silicone, so it's food safe. It makes a great little prep surface and allows me to prepare my herbs that I've found in the woods. So my water has started to boil. We're going to go ahead and add that to the larger pot. And that pot is just to give us the space we need to prepare everything else. We're going to go ahead and add our chopped garlic. And we're going to put that back on the burner just to boil a little bit longer. And then this is where this mat is going to become particularly helpful. We're going to take a few of our dumplings. These are just frozen dumplings. When I packed for the day today, I added these to my small cooler, my little vintage Stanley cooler. And I'm just going to put these in my silicone mat. And we're going to draw this up. And these dumplings tend to be a little bit delicate. So what we're going to do is we're going to add these to the pot in the silicone. And that's going to make them easy to remove without doing any damage. And we're just going to let those boil. And we need them to boil for just a little bit to make sure they get heated throughout. So we've removed the pot from the burner. That's been boiling long enough to make sure those dumplings are hot throughout. And that silicone net or pad or mat makes it really easy to handle. I don't know if you can see the color, but that's the color because of those beautiful garlic greens. And this is going to give a tremendous flavor to our noodles. We're going to go ahead and add our noodles and the flavor packet. Make sure that gets put back in the bag so that it leaves the woods with us. And we're going to cover that, put it back on the burner, and return it to a boil yet again. And allow those noodles to absorb some of that flavor. And to finish off these Asian dumplings, we're going to put a little bit of, in this case, this is olive oil, but whatever your favorite cooking oil. We're going to put that in there. We're going to set the ramen aside to let it rest and sit. We're going to go ahead and put that pan of oil on the burner and get it heating. Now that oil is nice and hot, and you remember we said we were going to add some of that winter purple cress or bitter cress, and we have some onions. We want that oil just to infuse with the spice of those herbs. Oh, I wish you could smell this right now. The smell is tremendous. And then we're going to take a dumpling and we're just going to keep that moving. We're going to toss that in there. And we're going to toss in a second. One of the challenges with cooking over a campfire or a gas burner like this is the intense heat. Sometimes will, especially cooking something delicate like these dumplings, they'll try to stick. And so having the herbs there helps to create that little degree of separation. And we're going to add a couple more of these dumplings. I like my dumplings just crisp, just a little bit. And I want to know that they've gotten good and hot on the inside. So these are a pork and sriracha dumpling. I purchased them frozen. And we're going to add those to the pan and put them right back on the fire.
Preheat a stainless steel frying pan until water droplets will dance in it and you'll get non-stick performance.
Those are perfect. We'll set those aside. And the last 3 dumplings. Turn those. And just showing off a little bit the versatility of these silicone claws or mats. They're just fantastic. They can be used as a gripper to grab that pot because, again, it's silicone and you can see just how hot that is. But that's so useful in the camp, and it's so compact to carry. It adds almost no weight to your pack, and it's very durable to the heat. And so I think those dumplings are ready. Give them one last turn. Now, this is where this gets interesting. See if I can turn this so you can see what I'm doing. I'm going to add that herb-infused oil right to my ramen. And we're going to give that a toss. Those toasted herbs are going to add so much flavor to this. This is not going to taste like an instant lunch. We're going to boil that ramen down because I like my noodles well flavored. Now this is garnished with that bitter cress. My dumplings are all finished. My noodles are beautiful. I've been to Chinese restaurants, Asian restaurants, spent a fortune for my meal and not had a plate that looked this inviting. So let's dig in. Noodles. The wild garlic just shines. There's something about toasting the garlic in the olive oil, adding that olive oil back to the ramen noodle soup. It just brings all the flavors together. That is tremendous. P.F. Chang's, eat your heart out. Now, I have one more surprise. Now, obviously, I'm not far from my car. I've been hiking today. I parked the car nearby, so I am a food snob. I do enjoy great food, but you can't have dumplings without a ginger soy sauce. And so let me grab one of these. That's a perfectly prepared dumpling. You dip it in that finishing sauce. Oh my goodness. Now, this is the part where I confess. These aren't dumplings you can go to Kroger's and buy. I buy them from my commercial supplier that supplies our food truck. I buy them in bulk. But they are frozen, so you can buy frozen dumplings, pack them in your lunchbox, carry them out on a day hike like this, and it's perfect. And I don't know if you saw it earlier, but I carry my ingredients such as vinegar. I have a flask of vinegar. That's rice vinegar. And I have with me today a flask somewhere that has my oil in it. And so I'm carrying oil and vinegar so I can do this. Everything I've cooked with today fits in this small shoulder bag. So, yeah, I'm eating gourmet in the woods. It probably seems a little bit extreme, but it's a heck of a lot of fun. And I can't think of a better place to enjoy such a fantastic meal. Now, before I sign off and enjoy the rest of my meal, I gotta talk about this bitter cress. It's very peppery. It's spicy, like a hot pepper spicy, but it's subtle. So as you're eating, you realize, okay, that's that bitter cress, that's that blossom. And so I'm using the blossom, as you can see there, done that location. And so I love the colors, I love the vibrancy, I love the flavors, and just how it all comes together. Oh man, this is fantastic. And if only there was some way I could let you have a smell. Absolutely tremendous. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please click down below and subscribe if you've not already subscribed. Make some comments, and by all means, please share and come back again. Hopefully you'll join me again for some cooking in the woods, and I'll share down in the comments the particular brands that I used here in preparing this meal. And of course, we've already talked about the wild edibles. Hope you had a great time. Thanks for coming along. Look at that dumpling. That's tremendous. And cooked in the woods on a rock. Mm. Mm. By the way, my dipping sauce is just soy sauce, ginger, rice vinegar, and a little bit of olive oil. That's it. Really simple.